Alright, so I've been doing a couple of hot take videos. I'm sure you guys have already seen probably a couple of them. I want to say I've done like three or four so far. So this is going to be the last one for a long, long time. Because I really don't want to just, just do hot takes the entire time for sure. But I did drop my own kind of thread. And I felt like, I already I already made it. I might as well just go over my thread, my feelings on some of this stuff. You guys can tell me how much you either disagree or agree with it. I always like to do it where I do like the kind of how many I got right versus how many I got wrong. If you guys want to like continue that pattern and do that for mine as well, that's completely fine. We'll also go over some of the quotes as well and kind of like discuss some of those stuff too. I guess the criticisms of some of my takes or even the good parts about it. But let's go ahead and start off with one. So I've seen a lot of the community say that the one thing that they want the most at the game is skip summons. Everybody I've seen, like a big YouTuber wise, they're always like, man, skip summons has to be the one thing I need the most. Or they're playing Patan Battle and they're like, man, they have skips here, but they can't put skip animations or skip summons on the summon screen, and it's like, I'm gonna be honest, even as a YouTuber and somebody who's literally summoning on almost every single banner, and there are some times where I'm just like, you know what? This is so bad. I don't like this animation. I don't like this. It's just Yamcha flying in alone. Like, this is gonna be absolute trash. As someone who's suffered from that, I can go ahead and say that there is literally no like reason in my mind that that would be number one. Because there's so much other stuff. Like, we've already seen stuff that is going to come to the game, like domain fixes and all that stuff. But like, I don't know. I can't see the skip summon being number one biggest problem in the game. And this was one of the ones I did get a little bit of flack for it. There was somebody who private quoted it too, which is kind of weird. But Black was saying that yeah, he agrees as well. And then oiled up Goku character, yeah. Somebody else agreed. It didn't personally affect them. Oni obviously agreed as well. Uh, and then one of my other friends, they were saying, well, honestly, for me at this point, I probably do spend more time summoning than playing the game, which is kind of fair. Like, if you're literally just summoning, or I'm sorry, if you're literally just logging into Dokkan, getting your daily stones, and then you're waiting to summon, do multis and stuff like that, I can see what that gets very annoying. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more annoying when we're getting towards the anniversary and we're getting literally so much free summons spammed at us constantly, right? And to that an extent, I can understand why it might be a bigger issue, but even still, I probably wouldn't agree that it's just like the number one, right? Continuing on for the last point, I think, for example, domains needing updating, revamping much more than skipping when characters like Broly, Zamasu, and Rose are suffering heavily from domain clashes and stopping them from being used more often. It's nice to see it's updating. So yeah, exactly what I was saying in the last thing. It makes sense, right? All of these, like Broly, Zamasu, and Rose, are all on super bosses, right? And you want them to transform, but the problem is that they are locked behind domain transformations. So not only is it lowering the value of the unit, it's lowering the value of the team. It's making it where people aren't going to want to summon for these extreme characters because at the end of the day, guess what? I can't even run them. They can't transform. They are actively being hurt on the team for no reason. So it's like, it's just dumb, right? Like that to me personally, it makes so much more aggravation from not being able to transform these units rather than skip summons, right? Like I get so much more frustration from that than I do from needing the ability to skip. I've seen this. This is kind of like a pseudo, like I guess comment on the Swag one. So Swag was saying like that units are kind of being boxed in, and they are getting into a pattern where all they have is dodge, damage reduction, and guard, and it kind of makes it where it's stale, to an extent. And I was like, well, at the same point, like I kind of want the units to have that in this day and age of Dokkan, and that's kind of where this take is coming from. I was basically saying, we can see even when there are units that literally just come out and they're pure stats, excuse me, they're usually pretty bad. Like age-wise, Intima Jr. has fallen off so hard. He was number one TUR on release, and then he plummeted in less than 12 months. And units like Physical God Goku, who were argued to be worse than Intima Jr., who were argued to be worse than Tech World Tournament Goku, is now like number 6, 7, 8. Wherever you want to personally place him, he's still top 10. And now World Tournament Goku, let me specify just Inman Jr. for this case because he has all stats. He does not have anything else. It's just stats, right? Because Physical God Goku has the dodge and the guard, it obviously makes him so much more valuable later down the line because he's going to have both powerful defensive mechanics. While somebody like Intamin Jr. is going to suffer a lot more down the road because as these bosses get hitting harder and harder, just stats isn't able to cover it anymore, right? So like at this point, I feel like I'd feel more comfortable if units do have dodge, damage reduction, or guard, and they can do anything else they want stats wise as well, right? They can give them crits, they can give them a type effect against all types of additional super attacks, they can do all of that stuff, and they can still make a unit unique, but they don't need to box themselves in by saying like, oh, we have to make a unit every now and then that is just pure stats, because they suck, they really do suck. Like age-wise, I should probably like keep clarifying that, but age-wise, they're always going to suck later down. Unit performance can vary from person to person, so not having the exact same tier list as someone else, I didn't put tier list, but the exact same tier list as someone else for your personal tier list doesn't make either person wrong. Dodge units can always bless or curse anyone, for example, and can be ranked on preference. So I think this one got a quote, and I think it was somebody saying. No, let me just double check. Yeah, they were saying like this only applies to dodge characters. So I was saying this mainly for dodge characters, but I think it was also because of this guy right here, Physical God Goku. So I think he's like a very hyper fixation for like this specific scenario, right? Like I can understand not wanting to have, like when I say God Goku is like number 1 or number 2 for me personally, that's just because of how he performs for me. He is always dodging the supers, as literally all of my videos show. He is dodging most attacks. He's able to get his 6 orbs every single time. If we're having it where we're doing 38-minute long videos and he gets his 6 orbs throughout the entire video up until the end, of course I'm going to have a bias towards Physical God Goku being good because it works for me, but that doesn't mean he's going to work for everyone. For every person he works for, he's going to not work for someone else, right? And it's the exact same reason why I was like talking like immediately about Physical God Goku right below too. But like there's so much units like that where it's just like if they don't dodge, they die. Like STR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, for example. If he's not dodging that 70% chance to dodge the super, you're gonna probably think he's awful. Or if you're not getting those dodges when you're in standby, you're gonna probably think he's awful. But again, like I said, unit performance can vary from that, and I can completely understand that. But it is always nice to probably specify like, oh, I think this guy doesn't perform as good as I want for me, so this is why I think that he's a little bit lower. But then going into the next point of Physical God Goku being slandered, I was just like, come on. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people go up and they have like these insane slanderous just videos about him. Like it's just actually insane. I can't tell you how many times I've seen like pictures and videos and people. It's so crazy. There's people who used to be God Goku defenders, and then one day it's like a sickness arose inside of them, and they never lost that sickness. And then they're like, "Yep, Physical God Goku is trash." Actually, it's like, what? I trusted you. But no, honestly, like for real, it's at this point it's just frustrating, right? It's just frustrating seeing like a unit that I personally love and then people are just like putting him in these situations to make him look worse. And it is what it is, you know. At the end of the day, I try not to let it affect me too much. But I will say that you know, it does hurt. It does hurt sometimes. With the hardest events on JP and global, more so JP, having damage restrictions. So if you don't reach a threshold, you do zero damage means that the game is no longer mostly about defense. We need a mixture of both now for a unit to be good. I've seen so many people make takes about like, oh well, the game isn't about defense anymore, and now it's about offense or something like that. And honestly, I can't really agree with it. Just need to be about offense now, because if that was true, STR Beast Gohan and Physical Ultimate Gohan would be wiping every single event in the game. But obviously they don't. So you know, Physical Beast will die to like almost everything, or Beastless. So I do think that it does need to be like a sort of mixture, because having like those damage restrictions, so it's just like you literally just do zero damage if you're not doing enough attack. Like, it's so annoying. It's annoying, but it obviously is something that we have to work around and we have to do, because we can't just be like, oh, this unit is doing blah 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 amount of damage, but it's okay because they're doing this or doing that. It's like, no, we need this unit to be hitting those thresholds, or else they have to be doing something amazing. They have to be helping other units out so much more for it to be like acceptable, in my opinion, now, because it's just like you can't just do zero damage in this day and age. It's, unless we'll talk about him, because he's one of the units that I feel like that would be okay with. But yeah, like, you either have to be tanking the super for zero, or you have to be doing damage, because these bosses are hitting so hard that you just want to finish the event as fast as possible, because you do need to get just out of here as fast as possible. More units need to be like this guy. The chance to be alive in some of the hardest content in the game needs to happen for every single free-to-play unit. There's no reason that 99% of these units should be trash. It's wasted time and resources. So that's the thing, is when I did my initial showcase on AGL Super Saiyan Goku yesterday, you might have seen that I was obviously getting very frustrated, because I wanted to be below 60% HP, and it just didn't happen. And that's fair, right? Like, that is the downfall. That's literally the flaw of the unit. But if we were below 60% HP on any of those times, we would have been taking literally everything in the game. We can be tanking everything in the game when it comes out on JP. Like the anniversary comes from JP to global. Like, that matters. Like, it helps so much to be able to do stuff like that. And there's not a lot of units, if any at all, that can really say that right now. I think the only one, excuse me, is like Beerus. I think Fizz Beerus is like the only other unit who can tank everything. Well, no, not like everything, but I think STR opponents still kind of affect him. But when he uses his like redirect, the one where it makes all the attacks come towards you, he is able to tank relatively well from what I've heard. So it's just like, we do need more stuff like that. EZAs like this are completely fine as long as the restrictions are something that is in current difficult content. Those Vegeta shouldn't have had a cell restriction when we haven't had an event in over a year. So yeah, I see people saying like, oh well, Sam Max was a thing, but the problem is that like he's not getting that. It doesn't count Cell Max for some reason. It makes literally no sense. So if it was just literally artificial life forms, like I've seen other people suggest, then yeah, it would have been fine. I personally do not like EZAs for events that don't exist in the game. If you want to make it restricted to one event, that's fine, because at least I'll know that he's doing good in those events and has the chance to be doing good in other events. And that's not to say that S tier Super Vegeta is bad. He's still really good, and I am having very fun using him, right? But it's just it's just frustrating seeing like a line when it's literally used nowhere. Yeah, Frieza, AGL Frieza sucks. I don't care what anybody says. AGL first form Frieza. He could be top 10, he could be top 5, he could be top 1. There is no reason for him to have a restriction, because he's only that like top tier unit. If you're running actual fodder, that will just die on frame 1. and there should be no reason to have it where he's restricted like that. He should just be number like 3, 4, 1, anything like that. He should be top 5 just by existing. He should not have it where it's restricted like this. It's so stupid. Oh yeah, and then I was saying like right here. Here's the perfect side bending unit. Pairs up well with the new Dokkan Fest exclusive, and isn't too restricted that he feels like he can't be placed elsewhere. I love him. He is very, very good. I think the main issue that I will say about this King Vegeta is the fact that the Tech Vegeta wants to also have a Goku ally or enemy to be getting his additional supers, but the fact that the fact is that like that doesn't matter too much, and it's definitely not something that wouldn't be made up from Vegeta's King Vegeta's support or just his links, because remember he has like 5 out of 7 links I believe. On the topic of Cyberman units, Villain Dokkan Fest should 100% always have one that is like King Vegeta. These units were actively hurt by not having one at all on their banners when they desperately needed it. So yeah, Rose and Ain't Hirudegarn. I genuinely don't understand why they just had no side banner units. And it literally hurt not only their banners, but it also hurt just the unit themselves. Because like if I know that we literally just got a Zamasu side banner unit during the Worldwide Download celebration, I really don't care. If we could have gotten like a side banner unit where it's just like Goku Black and Rose, or Goku Black and Rose, Goku Black and Zamasu, if we could have got a side banner unit where it was just like something like that, or even just this, like multiple, or just like one Zamasu, like something to just help this unit out, just being able to get like a decent, because the thing is that the physical Zamasu, he had like amazing animations and then he sucked. So I wouldn't have been mad if we just got like an entirely new one. And then Hirudegarn is like another person who just like literally had no partners in the game. If we got a partner for Hirudegarn, like I don't know his name off the top of my head, but that like the guy who like wears the coat, the white one, the white coat, and he has like the basically the person who summons Hirudegarn, right? If that was a side bending unit and he like had it where it's like, oh, if you're running him next to Hirudegarn, you get an additional support or something like that. Like it would have been nice. Give him dodge or something. Make it where him like attacking is like just Hirudegarn. Like I don't know. There's so many ideas that they can use, and it's just like why? Why would they not help those units out? For what reason? It's more. It's literally more reason to summon because it's 2 new units rather than 1. And it just makes no sense why they don't make side bending units sometimes. I've seen some people say it doesn't matter for any unit, or say it doesn't matter as much if any superclass unit gets messed up as much as an extreme. I'm here to say that any character is messing up is a travesty. High moments like this won't be done again for a while, and mess ups like this still hurt a lot. I really liked the animations for Int, Spirit Bomb Goku, and it really is just like a missed opportunity. And it's the same thing with Physical Turles. Obviously he's not superclass, but I'm just being like, we're not gonna see an LR or a Dokkan Fest for this movie anytime soon. And like it genuinely just hurts because I know that moments like these are some of I love Spirit Bomb animations. I love the scene where he like obviously he throws the Spirit Bomb at Turles and then he's just like so shocked and he's scared as it's getting closer, and then it kind of like just explodes him up the tree. Like it's amazing, and it was done pretty good, but at the same time it's just like this unit sucks. He can't be used in like anything basically. Fusions are based, and this was the most hyped movement for Dokkan for me character-wise, not content-wise, since yeah, the 50th anniversary sucked content-wise, I will say, but both animation-wise and just character-wise, like this was the best animation or the best anniversary. It honestly is like, it genuinely still holds up today. Like it's crazy. SR Gogeta obviously has the physical Gogeta, so it's not like we could still see some new stuff like that. But we saw AGL Vegeta Blue, and I'm gonna be honest, Tech Vegeta Blue is kind of clears. We need more Dragon Ball cards. The fact that this is a best card for Demon King Piccolo, and he's about to Easy A too. Yeah, he's upcoming on it because Yamcha and Puar just got their Easy A. It's a huge shame. We need a dual Dokkan Fest, Demon King, Piccolo, and Kid Goku. Like seriously, like how is this guy when did he come out? It's been he like came out when I first started playing Dokkan. Well, no, I think I started when Yamcha and Puar dropped. Maybe it was actually no, I think it was Tien. Either way, it's there's no reason why he there's no reason why he's the only good card. Like they dropped STR Demon King Piccolo, and he was even still pretty mid, I would say. We honestly need a red zone. Yeah, I've talked about this and I said it in a video when I was talking about Soai Kage's thing. Um, but I just want a redstone that like just drops once every month, like an SPR type style format where we just get like one new stage every single month. Cause like on JP they obviously had the movie Bosses 2 Red Zone that came out, but it was a New Year's event. So Global is just like literally suffering for no reason. We get nothing. We get nothing to test the Super Saiyan 3 Goku out on. And it sucks because it would be nice to record on something other than just the same exact event every single day. Dokkan has to stop doing these April Fools. Yeah, they really need to stop doing April Fool's game modes. Because it hurts, seeing all these things and it's just like I know Dokkan could implement it pretty well because they like show fake ideas and it's like exactly like what the game needs, like something brand new and something like incredibly different, and they're just like actually it was fake. You got pranked. The prank was that it was actually going to be good but not really. Oh yeah, and then I feel like no one really talks about how good Dokkan OSTs are. Like they are genuinely so good. Not every single time, but like 90% of the time, Dokkan just drops some gas music, and it's incredible that we can just watch and just wait for like whatever Dokkan Fest comes out, or even a free to play LR, and then it like kind of like gets inspiration from Dokkan openings, or not Dokkan openings, Dragon Ball openings. So we could see stuff like that, like Dokkan's take on those Dragon Ball opening musics. Uh, there's a reason why I always do missions, and I genuinely don't care about doing no item runs as well. So I've talked about this, and I do it in my guides as well. If you need to use items into events, don't listen to anybody on somebody like harping on you or just being I guess just mean, I guess like I can't really think of a better term right now, but just I guess trolling. There's no reason to listen to people like that who are just like, oh, use an item. Yeah, you got carried by that item. I would hope that you can beat this event with that team and with these items. Like, just get the rewards. It honestly doesn't matter, and hopefully you can pull something with those stones that you can get from those missions. Just don't feel like you can't use them. And it's again the reason why I personally started using items when I do these showcases on how to beat events for the first time with when using like older units, because maybe you didn't pull the newest unit. I want to show you guys that it's alright to use items and it's okay. There's Dokkan gives them for a reason. You might as well use them, right? I've seen some people saying, yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people say this is a skill check unit. It makes no sense. Like it's not even the comments like when I checked the quotes and all that, there was people saying, or there was one guy who was like being a little bit sarcastic. Here I can open it up real quick. But he was like, holy shit, dude, what a fucking take. Please take this, take note of the immense sarcasm that should be followed by my reaction. I was like, whatever, But it's just like, it literally makes no sense. This guy's dodge relies on a coin flip. And then he also needs to be locked in slot 1. Like, there's no skill with it. It makes no sense. Every single time that this Vegeta Blue is talked about, it's always skill check unit, skill check unit. Oh, this guy's a skill check. Either you know how to use him or you don't. Like, it's not that hard, dude. And then my last take is that the sync for global and JP is very scary, and in fact, I am more scared than excited for it because while I do obviously want a lot of the things synced up, I think the a fact or the ability of us losing tickets and discounts is definitely up there, and I'm very scared that we're going to lose that. Best case scenario, obviously Global and JP both get it. A slightly worse case scenario would be Global just keeps it and JP doesn't, but I feel like that would upset the JP fan base so much. But even still, I if you guys watched the summons, I am a person who will always tell you that you should summon on discounts. Obviously, depending on what the unit is and depending on banner, but 99.9% of the time, I will tell you that you should probably summon on discounts because it's just worth it. It's the same exact multi that you would get for doing stones, but at half the price, at 70% of the price, at 80% of the price. And then when you add all that up, you literally saved like 40 stones and then got not only the fourth multi for free, but you're also getting tickets on top of that. Like it adds up so fast. Like you can get an extra 10 stones and get an additional multi and then also do an additional multi on tickets, and it's like what it's so good. And it's funny because I say this all the time, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, SCR one, I get blessed in his discounts. I got two Super Saiyan 3 SCR Gokus on the Super Saiyan 3 and Hirudegarn banners, the dual Dokkan Fest that's going up right now on Global. I got two new of those ones in the discounts, and it's like this is the exact reason why I tell you guys to go for the discounts, because something like this is more likely to happen, especially if you're just summoning on every discount and you're still saving stones, right? But yeah, I'm obviously very scared to lose that. Like it's just so much free stuff that on JP just does not happen. And I don't want them to take that over from JP and give it to us, because JP isn't the one that's getting the sync. It's global. All right, I'm not sure how long my mic disconnected for a second, but I don't know how long. I'll probably just check it. But anyways, yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm frightened. But yeah, I'll link the thread if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. Obviously, I already went over all the takes. But yeah, how many takes did you guys agree with? Obviously, there was 20. So if you want to do a ranking system, you could probably just do like, I don't know, like 10 to 20, 15, 19 to 20, whatever you guys want to do, or how many you agreed with. Obviously, I agree with all 20 of them because I am the smartest man alive, probably 5,000 IQ or something like that. I have 13 bachelors in Dokkanomics. But I will see. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. Thank you as always, Will, for being a member, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.